Hey, what's up? What's going on? Can you guys please subscribe to my channel and please like the video? We're going to be talking about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Season 6, Episode 3. So basically, the first scene starts off with Rashida and Kurt. Rashida is confronting Kurt, letting him know that Carly Red has met up with Jasmine, and she has came back with some information that Kurt, you have been bringing this woman Jasmine around our son Carter. You have moved her into the same condo that we purchased as well, and she has been around your family and all the other shit. So Kurt is just like, damn, I'm caught. He was like, I fucked up, I messed up, blame it on the Hennessy, blame it on the alcohol, I just fucked her once. It was by mistake. It was by an accident. You know what I mean? I just did a drive-by in that and bounced. But he did not deny the baby, if the baby was his or not. So anyways, Kurt in his confessionals, he's like, this is how I expected Rashida to act. Rashida gets up. She says she's going to fucking choke the shit out of Kurt. She throws a plate mat towards Kurt, and Kurt is like, she's throwing shit at me. Why is she throwing shit at me? She know I've been fucking around on her ass. I always fucked around on her ass. This ain't brand new. And he was like, I expected Rashida to act this way, blah, blah, blah. And of course, because he's done it before, so basically he's repeating the same behavior, and so is Rashida getting upset and getting mad. So Kurt says that, I only lied to her because I love her. I didn't want to hurt her. I have heard that statement before, that a man has said that when he lies to you is because he loves you, because he really don't want to hurt you. So if any of you guys are watching this video, is that true? Because I heard that before. Not that someone said it to me, but I generally heard men say that when they really love or care about a woman, most of the time they do lie because they don't want to hurt her. So basically, Rashida kicks Kurt out the door, and it's like, she does this over and over. Like, come on, like, get used to it. You need to become a sister wife as well. Because you're not going to leave him. So why go through all this aggravation and all this drama when you still love him and want to be with him? Just deal with it. Accept it. Because this is who you married. This is who you've been with for years. So you're not going to leave him. So what's the point of getting upset and getting mad? Why go through all that drama and aggravation when you're going to end up at the same point, back together in the same bed, living together? So as we move on to another part of the episode, we get Tommy. We get Tommy talking about her mom or whatever, and Tommy is saying that she wants to upgrade, she wants to move forward, and she wants to upgrade with having new friends, and basically she's been in counseling, anger management, and she's ended up being friends with Tammy, Waka Flocka's wife. And they're gonna go out. Tammy doesn't want to be in a house because she has been away from Waka for 6 months. She's another delusional female that puts up with the same thing. What's the definition of crazy? If you do the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, that is Rashida and Tammy crazy. So Tammy pulls up at Tommy's house. Tommy has a nice house, and by the way, Tommy is dressed immaculate. Tommy is a beautiful woman, and she knows how to dress. She has style in her clothing. So, and I believe all her body parts are real. She hasn't had surgery and shit. So anyways, Tommy and Tammy meet up. They are going to go to Arian's fashion show. And, Tammy is saying to Tommy that Tommy's a good person. She wants to give Tommy a second chance. She wants to introduce Tommy to all the girls again. And hopefully they can get to know the side of Tommy that Tammy knows, that she's a good mother. Tommy and Tammy have a kid around the same age. They play together. So basically, they're friends. And so now they go to the fashion show. At the fashion show, you cut to the scene where as soon as they cut to the scene of the fashion show, Jessica Dime is walking in the fashion show, and her dress is ugly as fuck. Her ass looks so terrible in that dress. And the first thing Tommy says, when I walk in, I see that big old ugly motherfucking ass of Jessica Dime. But there's a hitch. Carly Red is here, and Tammy didn't know Carly Red was going to be there. So, so Mimi's at the fashion show. Arian's at the fashion show because she's throwing the fashion show. And then you have Carly Red is there as well. So, Mimi sees Tammy and then immediately starts to talk to Carly and was like, Carly, have you talked to Tommy? And Carly was like, I haven't talked to her. I haven't heard shit from her, blah, blah, blah. And Mimi is like, you haven't reached out to her, girl? She was like, no, well, I think tonight you're going to be talking to her because she's here, girlfriend. So anyways, we didn't get a chance to really notice any of the fashions. I didn't notice any of I just only noticed Jessica Dime. Well, I'm really glad she doesn't have that pink hair. So that's a plus. But if you're going to bring Jessica Dime back, please bring back Deb, Mama Deb. Please bring her back. So anyways, so now all the fashion show's over. All the girls are standing up and they're talking. Tommy apologizes to Mimi. She gives Mimi a hug. Mimi was like, you know what? I accept her apology because apology should be coming my way because of how she behaved, the first time they met each other at Mimi's birthday party. So anyways, then Tommy apologized to Jessica Dime and they're cool. Jessica Dime said we're both street bitches, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. Basically, Tommy is saying that, you were right about Jocelyn. I was defending her to the most, and you were right. So they hug, and then it's time for her to hug Carly Red. She kind of gives Carly Red a bear hug, hugs her really tight because she's still upset. She's still angry with Carly Red because the last episode, Tommy talks about how she wants to fuck up Carly Red for having sex with Scrap. So anyways, Tommy really bear hugs Carly Red, and Carly Red says to Tommy, you know what? I've been trying to get in contact with you, and then I've been trying to get in contact and reach out to you. And Tommy is like, reach out to me for what? We ain't friends, girl. Don't try to fake that TV fake bullshit relationship shit. Because I ain't feeling it. I seen an interview with Tommy, and Tommy was like, she was really cool with Tammy, but she was talking about all the fake bitches, and Carly was one of them, and how they try to pretend like they're your friend on camera, but then stab you in your back or whatever. But we know this. So anyways, and then Carly goes, I thought we was making amends, and she was like, ugh, I can't do it. I'm going to choke the shit out this bitch. But before I get upset, before I get mad, let me just walk off. Let me just leave the scene. That's my new motto. And she throws on them beautiful sunglasses and walks away looking gorgeous. And then Carly Red says, you can dress trash up, spray perfume on trash, but it's still always fucking trash. I was like, Carly, how do you say such mean things? So anyways, that was just like, okay. And then Tommy walks away. So then Carly Red, she's carrying a bone, and she's the gossip girl on this show. So she was like, I gotta fill you ladies in on some info because I met up with Jasmine. And but before that, she dismisses Jessica and tells Jessica, you can't be involved in this conversation. So it's Arian, Mimi, and Carly Red, and Tammy. So she starts to say that, I met up with Jasmine, and I got all these receipts, I got all this information on her, how she's met Carter, all the bullshit that we already know. And so then Arian says, I don't even want to hear this. Why are you talking about this right now? I don't want to be a part of this. Same thing. Tammy says, wait, Carly, did you tell Rashida before you telling us all the business? She was like, yeah, I did, girlfriend. We cried and shit. But let me tell you guys what's going on. And basically she's talking, and then she's spilling the beans, which we already know what the beans are because I just said it earlier. So Tammy's like, I don't want to be a part of this. So then the conversation is smashed and they all walk away. And then we cut to the scene of Rod. And I must say, it's a nice condo. I like the chess game on the table, you know, because he's playing a game of chess because he has two girls claiming to have slept with Kurt, and one has Kurt's baby. So basically, Rod introduced us to this new girlfriend. I mean, this other girl. Her name is Kiana, same name of the girl from Bad Girls Club. And basically, they both, Jasmine and Kiana, both slept with Kurt. He met them both in a strip club, and both of these bitches belong to Rod. And Rod is like, yo, you know, you've been telling Jasmine, like, you've been running your mouth around town, whatever, showing receipts to people. You ain't got to do all that, but you did. So anyways, we're going to handle this. Mimi's running around calling me names, talking shit about me, blase in the third. I'm going to have to meet up with her and check her. Jasmine's like, yeah, talk to that bitch or whatever. So basically, Kiana is saying that she had sex with Kurt, but she didn't know that Kurt was having sex with Jasmine. So basically, Kiana is saying that we both sleeping with the same man again, basically, without knowing. And it doesn't sound believable, but it's possible it could happen. It's very possible that Rod was like, yo, they could have told Rod that Kurt runs up in the strip club all the time, and he probably told the two girls, push up on him, get at him, because this will be our storyline on Love and Hip Hop. Basically, it could be true. But we know that Jasmine did sleep with Kurt because Kurt admit sleeping with Jasmine. So, they're on some bullshit. So I don't know what this is all gonna play out to be. It's like a soap opera, like All My Children. You know what I'm saying? So basically, and then Rod says that both of you bitches slept with a married man and you knew he was married. So both of y'all ain't no good either, basically. He's calling them out on their bullshit. And is a bit jealous because Kurt fucked both of his bitches. So, boom. This is Rod's new hustle. Coming after Kurt and Rashida on Love and Hip Hop. Boom. And plus, everybody's storyline is based around Rod and these two bitches, Kurt and Rashida. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, right? Maybe and maybe not. So, then we get to Stephen J's house. Stephen J is just like, yo, my house is dirty. You know, Savannah's here with her friend. They're fucking up the house. The house is dirty. It's trash. He was like, it's daycare. Mimi comes into the house, and Mimi is like, yo, you need to tell your boy Kurt to get a DNA test. Because, you know, there's a bitch running around town saying that she got Kurt's baby and shit like that. So basically, Mimi is filling Stephen J and what's been going on. And then Stevie J says, so the perfect family ain't so perfect. You know, you can't throw stones when you live in a glass house. Judgmental motherfuckers. Basically, that's how Stephen J feels. And basically, Mimi was like, make sure you keep that animal away from our daughter, because this bitch went on the media websites and did a campaign saying that you was a child molester, this and that. And you know, I don't know how that's gonna affect our daughter in the future, how it's affecting her now, but I don't ever want that beast, a bunny, Godiva, bunny, something she called her, around our daughter. And Stephen J was like, yo, I don't want her around our daughter either, ever. Because what Jocelyn did was really fucked up. So anyways, and so, you know, Mimi's like, so you gonna get that DNA test? He was like, yeah. But, you know, he's kind of feeling like the baby could be his, because Jocelyn is saying that she's never slept with anybody else but him, and it's his baby. His daughter Savannah doesn't feel some type of way about the baby because she doesn't like Jocelyn, and then all the fucking negative shit she said about Stephen J. And Mimi she's throwing up in Stevie J's face that I told you so, this bitch was trash. Then Stevie J was like, yo, you know, maybe the baby might change her. And then Mimi was like, ain't no baby gonna change that mental deranged bitch, basically. And then Mimi's like, she's gonna fucking torture you forever, ever. And And Stevie J is like, oh, I know, basically. So then, boom, that scene's over. And after that, we get Jocelyn with Melissa riding around. So Melissa says this. Melissa says, I can't believe I'm riding around with Stephen J. Semen stained drawers, basically. So Stephen J. drawers and a Ziploc bag. So Jocelyn and Melissa pull up to a clinic. And Melissa has her sunglasses on, her hoodie on, because she's kind of embarrassed. But how can you be embarrassed when it's on camera? So anyways, they enter this doctor's office or clinic. And basically they're there to see if they can extract Stephen J's DNA from the drawers, so she can prove if he's the father or not. The doctor says, I can't do this because it's probably not going to have any evidence on it because you put it in a Ziploc bag. Jocelyn and Melissa are like, oh, fuck TV. All the crime shows on TV, they put everything in a bag, in a Ziploc bag or whatever. But they put bloody items and items with bodily fluids and brown paper bags. Okay. So anyways, they're disappointed. But if I was Jocelyn, I would never be her. But Jocelyn should have just should have said, well, see what you can get. And then for her personal information, she could know if he's a father or not before they go to court or anything. And basically, the doctor says that this test cannot be used in a court of law or anything like that because it can be considered tampered with. And I actually really need the person here to take it as like a chain of evidence in custody, basically a chain of evidence that the doctor takes it from him directly there in the office and then do the test. So basically, boom, that scene is over, it's done with. And then we get to Tammy and Waka Flocka. But first, let me mention this. Young Jock, Waka Flocka, and Scrappy meet up at the car wash. I believe the car wash is Scrappy. I believe he owns it. I hope he does. And basically they're talking about their woes of women. Young Jock is talking about him and Carly in the treehouse and him posing in a book. And, Young Jock is like, I'm not going to lose this bet. And basically Scrappy saying him and his girlfriend is just wild out. It's just like, there's a no bueno. It's a no-go. And, Waka Flocka's realizing that he missed his old life. He missed his life with Tammy and the baby. And he has a plan and he's going to get her back because hearing what Jock and Scrappy are going through, he doesn't want that anymore, basically. So, because he don't want to be running around town chasing bitches. So anyways, we get to Tammy. She's at home. Waka Flocka shows up. And he has his bags. So he's trying to get back into the house or whatever. And then Tammy goes to the door. And she was like, no, these bags need to stay out here in these streets. She called them raggedy ass suitcases, basically. She's drinking wine in the middle of the day. She pours him a glass of wine, but tells him if he wants to see his daughter, he got to wait outside, basically. And then she hands him a dog pillow. And he goes, why you handing me a dog pillow? Because you think I'm a dog? And she goes, you said it, not me. So basically, Waka Flocka goes outside. So, but in my opinion, I don't know if Waka Flocka is paying for that townhouse. Is that the same townhouse from last season or whatever? But if he's paying the bills in that house, he has the right to be in that motherfucker. Because, that's his house, And then on top of that, if she wasn't in a relationship with him, she wouldn't be on this show Love&HipHop. So she owes him more than he owes her, in my opinion. And also in my opinion, Tammy has been cheated on by Waka since the jump, and she knows what kind of man he is. She knows what kind of man that she married. Why is she acting all surprised, and why is she getting all in her feelings about this dude when she already knows? And she took him back, and we know she's gonna take him back again, because she goes, if I take him back, he's gonna have to do some extraordinary shit. So basically, it's okay. So why put us through this fucking bullshit that you are not gonna take him back and you're trying to punish him, trying to put him in a doghouse. Bitch, you and Rashida belong together, because the definition of crazy or insane is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So anyways, we move on from that scene. And Tammy and Jessica meet up at the bar. They're talking. They both got on blonde wigs. And they kind of look, you know, I'm not Tammy, but Jessica Dime meets up with Tommy, and Jessica Dime looks weird. I don't know what she just looks different. I don't know. I'm not used to people looking like Jessica Dime on a daily basis, or in real life, or even in clubs. But anyways, they both got on the same type of blonde color wig, but you know, Jessica still has a little pink in hers, and basically they are trying to mend their relationship and make up and be friends. And it was like they're two bad bitches, basically, or whatever. And then Jessica Dime is saying that, or Tommy said that, you know, since, you know, Jocelyn is pregnant, a baby changes a person, and so maybe she might be changed, or she turned over a new leaf or whatever. And they both was like, ah ha ha, no, she's mental crazy, she's deranged, she needs help. And so Tommy is like, well, if you had any inkling or like Jocelyn, go reach out to her, you know what I mean, talk to her, see what's good. And so then Jessica Dimes returned the favor and said, hey, well, Tommy, you need to reach out to Carly Red then. And then Tommy says, I knew you were gonna do that bitch, you're good, or whatever. Basically, they mend their relationship, and they talk about going out on a double date. They both say they have never been on a double date before, so they're gonna have a double date. So anyways, we go to a new scene, and this scene, we're at Melissa's bar, and it's closed again. Melissa, how do you have business going on when you're taping? Because you're always closing your bar down for these women to have conversations about Kirk and Rashida. Even though I know Kirk and Rashida are your peoples, but goddamn, your bar's always closed to them. It's closed for gossip to go on in your bar, basically. So anyways, Mimi gets down to the bar. Mimi gets to Melissa's bar, basically. She pours her a drink, and she's going to be meeting Rod because she's been reaching out to him to find out what's going on and what's good. So, anyways, Rod shows up, and then as soon as he shows up to sit down, you know, Melissa says, I thought you were taller. What a shot. And so anyways, from there, you know, Rod is talking to Mimi. They're talking, and Rod is saying that, why are you going around town saying shit about me, blah blah blah. And Mimi was like, oh, you cheated on me, you did all this other stuff to me, you treated me like shit, whatever. But one thing Mimi didn't mention is that, and called him a scam artist, but she didn't say that he stole her identity and put her in jail. All that bullshit she was saying about him and a previous show. Now she's just calling him a scam artist. But I also got to say, when Mimi met up with Stevie J called him Scambo. Scambo. So anyway, so like when she's meeting up with Rod, she's not addressing him stealing her identity, taking her money, and putting her in jail or anything like that because he stole her identity. So to me, I think Mimi made that up. And I don't think Stephen J's a liar, so she must have told Stephen J that too as well, because at this moment, she's not confronting him on that. And that's more important than the bitches he got that's fucking Kirk. You know what I mean? So anyways, so she calls him a scam artist and this and that. And she said, Mimi says to Rod that you're still the same scam artist, still no good, dirty, low down motherfucker. And then Rod says, you're still the same old Mimi. You're still the same old porno Mimi, hanging from rod to rod. What a dig. So anyways, Mimi goes, so what's up with this baby and shit? Is this shit true? What's good? You know? And so, and she goes, that's what she's really here for. She wants to know what's going on because you're messing with my friend's family or whatever. And so then Rod says, let me send a text. He sent a text. The two whores come in, Kiana and Jasmine, they come in, and basically, they're here to tell Mimi about Kurt. So anyways, so Kiana is saying that she slept. So Jasmine is saying that she has a baby by Kurt. Kurt never denied the baby. Kurt was always there for the baby, and all of a sudden now he's denying the baby, and this and that, and so and then Rod goes, but that ain't even a half. You talk now, Kiana. Kiana goes, yeah. I was fucking with Kurt. And then Melissa goes, what you mean fucking with Kurt? What does that mean? And then Kiana says, I was sleeping with him. I was having sex with him, basically. And so then Mimi goes into her confessional, and she goes, Mimi says to two strippers, sister wives, what some bullshit. Rod has really outdone himself this time. Of course he has. But, Kurt should be keeping in his pants. And then, like I was gonna say, these people using protection, but we obviously know that everyone is not using protection, because she is claiming that Kurt could be the father of her child, Jasmine. Jasmine is claiming that, or whatever. So, then Melissa says to Jasmine, do you understand what you're doing? Do you understand there's real lives being affected by this? Is real shit going on. This is real life. This ain't no play shit. This ain't no games or no hustling shit. You know what I'm saying? And then and Mimi also says the same thing to Rod, and Rod says, I ain't married. I ain't fucking Kurt. Kurt did this to himself, basically. You know what I'm saying? And so then Jasmine responds back, well, he needs to keep his dick in his pants or whatever, because I'm not lying at all. What about my child? What about my baby? He's denying it. Well, bitch, this is what happens when you sleep with a married man and think that he's going to leave his wife or he's going to give all his funds to you, especially after you spilled the beans and you put him out there on blast. So he's going to cut you off. And this is what happened. And it's so sad, because it's not the child's fault. It's the adults that are involved in these situations don't think about, At the end, they start thinking and they start realizing. So then these kids grow up fatherless, basically. And so it's just a shit show, basically. And so Melissa says to Jasmine, what makes you think that this is really Kurt's baby? You know what I mean? You look like the type of girl that be in mad situations, different situations all the time. Basically, Melissa's calling her, she looks like a hoe, she looks like a thot, she looks like a prostitute, basically. And then Jasmine's like, no, what are you talking about? It ain't even like that. Tell him to keep his dick in his pants. You know what I mean? He fucked me. I ain't married to him, basically. And so Melissa was like, you know what? Get the fuck out. And get the fuck, this is my bar, get the fuck out. Bye, bitch. And so then Melissa says, I will fuck you from behind, you ugly bitch. And so then Jasmine replies that, bitch, you would have to fuck me from behind with that ugly mug of yours. So, and then Melissa goes, and get the fuck out of here too, Rod, with your Chihuahua fur on. So I'm like, yo, they went in. And so so then that was cute and sad at the same fucking time. So then now we get to the two bitches meeting up, crying about their cheating ass husbands, Rashida and Tammy, knowing that both of these hoes is gonna stay with these dudes. And especially you, Rashida, he did a DNA test on you last season to make sure Carter was his. Was you creeping, or was that his guilty conscience? Because he was fucking around the whole time. So anyways, we get these bitches crying about their cheating husband, and then you got Tammy saying, I know how it feels, girl, when everybody in these streets are talking about you, all the blogs are talking about you, and they don't even know half the story, and the rumors are going around. Bitch, Tammy, you want everybody to be talking about you, because if nobody was talking about you, you wouldn't be on this show. If you wasn't in the blogs, if Rashida wasn't in the blogs, you guys wouldn't be on this show. So you want all the attention that you may seek, and you shall get, whether it's positive or negative. Because if no one cared, you would be cast out. Because Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, if you boring, you're off next season. They don't keep you on that long. You got to have a storyline, or people have to be talking about you. The streets got to be talking. They got to be memeing you bitches up. So anyways, we get to this terrible scene, these crying hoes, and then Rashida was like, he better get a DNA test. Come on, Rashida, you can get that DNA test yourself. Go get that baby, swab the mouth, swab Kurt's mouth, do the same thing Kurt did, and find out if it's his baby or not. You know what I mean? And so Rashida's worried that, now her son Corda is going to have a little brother by Jasmine, the sister wife strippers. So anyways, it is what it is. It's terrible. Terrible shit. Terrible shit. So anyways, now we get to the next scene. Is with Jessica Dime double date with Tommy. So Jessica Dime says she was dating a basketball player for 10 years, but she's also sleeping with with Fetty Wap's ex-girlfriend, and she got her heart broken when Masika fucked Fetty Wap and had his baby or whatever. So this girl named Sky Alexis Sky or whatever. So I guess Jessica Dime is sleeping with her, and Jessica Dime is saying that she can do things to Sky that Fetty Wap can't do, basically. And so they're having spaghetti, and they have chefs and shit like that. So ding dong, the bell rings. It's Tammy. I mean, not Tammy, it's Tommy. Tommy shows up with her date. Tommy walks in looking gorgeous. She knows how to dress. She knows how to fix her body up. She knows how to look good. So, and this is her, second season, and she looked good the first season. She had a little mishaps on the first time that she was on Love and Hip Hop, but this season she's dynamite. So anyways, guess who Tommy's date is? It's none other than the young jock player, pimp status, Jerry curl, perm having motherfucker. Jock walks in with his sunglasses like, hey, and Jock is gonna get him where he fit. And you see how many kids he has. He don't give a fuck. And I don't know, Tommy, but I guess this is revenge. Tommy's like, fuck it, I'm gonna get Carly Red back where it hurts. So she's fucking with young Jock. If all this is true, it's sad and devastating for all these people's kids. So Jock is all smiling. He's all happy. He's getting the best of both worlds with Carly Red freaky ass and Tommy's freaky ass. So then now we move on to the next episode when it comes out. So anyway, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. It'll be greatly appreciated. This is some contrived soap opera shit that is just like, I hope all these people just use protection and whatever. And marriage don't mean shit on this show. Peace.